Well, I'm 68 years old, retired and helping church ladies with a garage sale. How? They felt I was highly qualified because I walk dogs, dog poop is side gigs. I'm retired and I once sold a battery charger on eBay. I am qualified. And they said, bring some stuff down. You could sell it. I thought, selling could be a gig. I'm there. Learned a whole lot of things right away. First one thing I learned, garage sales has rules. Yeah. First, they can't start till 7 a.m. And so you have people parked all over the streets at 5:30, quarter to 6. That's no, I'm telling you, sitting in their cars waiting for the garage sales to open. There's a whole bunch in this one area, like all the whole neighborhood right now is having them. So we got this garage with all this stuff, and they got a driveway with all these tables with a bunch of items that I guess people are going to buy. But anyway, so I can't start till 7 a.m. But what they do at 7 a.m., they fire off the starting pistol and everybody charges the garage sale. Well, they don't fire off a starting pistol. They don't shoot guns here in town in Waterloo. Well, actually, they do. We have some drive-bys downtown, but that's a whole different story. But at 7 a.m., here they come. It's like going to the horse races. Here comes the fat lady with a paisley shawl on the outside being followed up by the skinny woman dragging two kids behind in a shopping bag from Target, and his old man with a cane dragging up the rear. Okay, I'm being a little facetious. That's what it looks like. People are running across, lawns. People yelling out the doors, "Get off my grass!" Right across the street, horns honking at them. People still jockeying for parking positions to get to somebody's garage to buy old stuff. Anyway, we had one event, a strange phenomenon happened beforehand. There are a group of people who can't exactly follow the rules, so they want to get closer, so they come shuffling up to the sidewalk. There's like 8 of them, and this is how they all walked about the same. Come up the sidewalk, stood there at the end of the driveway, and just stared. You know, it's like night of the living shopper. The hell was that? Anyway, at 7, all hell breaks loose. Lucy, who has the property, said, "Don't stand in front of the door at 7. They might get knocked down, Jackie." I allow her to call me Jackie because she's 90. But anyway, so I stepped back, and at 7, here they came. It was an amazing thing to watch. Everybody charging her, grabbing stuff, throwing it all over the place, hooting and hollering. And it invariably, 5 minutes into it, I get my first question of the day. And a question I never once thought I'd be asked my entire life. Lady walks up to me with a ball of yarn and says, "Is this ball of yarn synthetic?" I said, "Do you want it to be?" And she goes, "Yes." "Then it is." She's, "Okay, thank you. First sale made. No problems. I got this." Kinda. Some of the questions you get are kind of hard to answer. I had an elderly gentleman come walking over to me, and there's a bunch of coffee cups all in a row. And he's looking at these cups, and he picks up this big white coffee cup. You know, one of them coffee cups that you've had around for about 40 years, and you've never really washed it? I've got one. And this big old white mug, and, the inside looks like the inside of a goat's colon. And he holds the cup up, he looks underneath it, he says, "You got to be very careful with these things." I said, "You do?" "Yeah. Sometimes they leak." "Does this one leak?" I said, "Sir, it's a coffee cup, not a submarine. I don't think I'd be that worried about it." He goes, "Good point." And he bought it. Second sale down. I'm cruising right along, and things are going pretty good at that point there until we had our first trauma of the day. Lady come up, dragging her little boy, who apparently in the early going fell down. Now, this is when everyone's charging in the door. And he fell down and he scraped his knee. And the lady was so upset about him scraping his knee that she waited a half hour before she said anything to anybody, to just let him sit over there looking at his scraped knee. He wasn't bawling. She brings him to me. She says, "Who owns this property?" And I point at Lucy. And she taps Lucy on the shoulder. She goes, "Ma'am." Lucy goes, "Yes." Lucy's hard of hearing. She goes, "Ma'am, do you have property owner's insurance, and do you have liability for personal injuries?" And she goes, "Well, if we do, they're probably over there." She goes, "In the clothes or by those hangers, they might be some. Check that area there," and walks off. And the lady looks at me and she goes, "Oh, I never." I said, "Me either." Anyway, off she went. I don't know if she was a satisfied customer. Maybe she didn't buy anything. You got some connivers in these places. Ladies, let me tell you, It's you. It's not the dudes. It's you. Good example. Lady comes up, sets out a salt and pepper shaker right in front of me. 50-cent sticker on it. She says, I gave you 25 cents for this. I gave you a quarter, and I'm not budging. Now, I don't know if that means she's just not leaving or she doesn't want to change the price. I said, well, it's 50 cents, ma'am. Nope, 25 cents, and that's as high as I'll go. Now, I know this lady, and I saw her drive up in her brand new Escalade. I said, the 50 cents is going to go to the ladies here at the church, and they go down there and do something with the church with it. I don't know, but it's only 50 cents. She was not moving off 25 cents. So I referred her on to Lucy and Helen, who I consider the administrative people in this deal, to do the final bargaining there. But I'm figuring this lady got the Escalade, and she has a nice house because she goes to garage sales everywhere and gets 50-cent items, juice people down to a quarter, takes the other quarter, and she buys things and with that, and then she resells them for a full 50 cents at garage sales and buys new Escalades. I mean, maybe not. That's just a theory. Another lady. Yes, lady. Another lady I saw in the distance. She's in a garage, and there's a box that said $1 sale. And there was something in the box of cloth or something, just $1. And so she went around, and she was just dropping items in the box. And she brought it over, and she picked me to buy it from, I guess, because maybe I look like I'm a pushover. Maybe I am. Sets the box down. She gives me $1. She says, well, ma'am, that's more than $1. She goes, it says $1 on the box. I said, yeah, it most certainly does. But all the stuff you put in here, and I pulled up, here's a little clock, that's $4. Here's a wallet for $2. Here's a Spider-Man doll for like $3. I want to say, what's the deal with the doll, lady? But she goes, well, that's $1. So I said, ma'am, no, it's not. She goes, are you challenging me? I said, do you lift weights? She goes, what? She says, I'm 85 years old. I said, so you don't lift weights? She goes, no, yeah, then I'm challenging you. She goes, I sold a whole box for $5. She's okay. Got to kind of kick back with these people a little bit. Another couple come up, and the old guy had a pair of these new shoes, nice looking shoes, dress shoes, old man dress shoes. He said them down and goes, oh, these are good looking shoes. They're almost like new. Have they been worn? I said, yeah, they were worn. And she goes, oh, well, who wore them? And this old man, and I said, Lucy's husband did. She goes, oh, well, can I talk to him about him? I said, no, that wouldn't be possible. Well, why not? And his wife said, we'd like to talk to him. I said, well, no, he passed on. He died. And his wife says to him, Henry, you can't buy those shoes. A dead man wore them. That's disgusting. And no sale. Somebody else bought the shoes later. Apparently didn't care about the dead guy. Yeah, you don't want that any deeper. This young fellow came over to me a while. A young guy came, sir. He said, yes. He goes, my mom over there in the corner, she had these little kids with her. She goes, yeah, she had to change the baby's diaper over there on those clothes. Yeah. He goes, and she says there's a stain on it now. On what? He says, on the clothes over there. Come here. You might want to look at it. No, I don't want to look at it. That's okay. Anyway, when the sale was over, the stained item was gone. Either she bought it or somebody else did, so I guess it wasn't that big of a deal in the old him. Anyway, the bottom line of all this stuff is a garage sale a good gig? It's entertaining. And I think that's something everybody can kind of do if you want to get together and do something, I don't know. It's like the guy that came up to me and told me, he said, I'm looking for something specific. I said, oh, well, maybe I can help you with that. He goes, oh, you know what it is? I said, well, no. He goes, oh, it's too bad. Well, thank you anyway. So that's what you get at a garage sale. You get some confusion, you get some humor. I don't know how much, man. I'm looking, I got their sheet here. I can't really figure out. They gave me a copy of the sheet, what they made. I made $3.40. Now, I sold an old bird feeder I had. Actually, it was a new bird feeder still in the box. Just never got a chance to use it. And I spent $10 on it, sat there for a few years, and I got a couple dollars out of it. And some old fish line. Actually, it was new fish line. So actually, I didn't make a damn thing on this. Hell, the fish line, I think, probably cost me $10, $15. Hold that for $1. And I said, anyway, I went to the garage sale. I lost about $10, $12, I suppose, from what original sale price I bought stuff on. I wouldn't call that a gig, but it was fun. And I got cookies and Kool-Aid out of it. Got to hang out with the old ladies for a while. So You ever had a garage sale? Give me your comments on it. Give me your thoughts. Is it a good gig? Have you sold anything? Have you made money? Have you met some really strange people? This is Jack from the Over 60 Underdog Guide to Life. Come back next time. We'll see you soon.